Hello, welcome to another instructional video for Jyotisha Deepika Pro 2024 Release 1 software. I am Dr. Kumara. I am the author and the developer of this software. In this instructional video, I will take you through a feature which has been completely redesigned and re-implemented since the previous version, and this feature is marriage compatibility analysis. This entire feature in the previous version was only centered on KP astrology principles. But in this new release, I have introduced the most commonly used classical Vedic astrology method of checking for compatibility using 36 points or 36 gunas. So let us get into the software. So I'm going to double click on Jyotish Deepika Pro 2024 icon, and the software opens. As you can see it, this is the default time chart that gets created. Now, basically, to perform a marriage compatibility analysis, you need to have one chart which is that of a boy or a male, and then you need to have another chart which is the chart of a girl. Now, I have already created these two charts for the demonstration purposes and have saved it onto my desktop. But however, I just want to show you certain important things that you should consider, especially when you are creating a chart for marriage compatibility analysis. So if you go to the charts menu and click on the KP birth chart, you can give any name, the client's name, but the most important thing for you is to select the gender. So normally the gender is not checked by default. So if you leave it like this, you will not be able to use the chart. So without the gender property, the chart cannot be used for marriage compatibility analysis. So if you want to create a boy's chart, then you have to select the gender as male, and similarly for the female chart. So this is one point that you need to really keep in mind. Otherwise, the error, when it occurs, you will not be able to understand why it is occurring. So it is very important that you assign the gender to the chart, birth chart that you are creating. So I'll just close this off because I've already created two birth charts, one of the boy, one of the girl, and then we will use those charts for our demo of marriage compatibility analysis. Now, as I've described in my previous video, that is the instructional video covering the most important new features and changes in Jyotish Deepika Pro, marriage matching has been introduced as a chart menu. So earlier it was there as part of the dashboard, but now we have brought it into the charts menu. You can see that marriage matching is here. So to open, we just click that, and then you get a small dialog here wherein it says you have to select the charts for matching. So on the left side, in the blue icon, the button is there that will help you to select the boy's chart, and the red icon helps you to select the girl's chart. Now, if I click this, the system will ask me to open the boy's chart. Now, I have already prepared these two charts, and then I have assigned the gender to this first chart as male, assigned the gender as female. Now, in case the gender is not assigned, you will not be able to use that chart for compatibility analysis, and you will get an error from the system. So now let me choose the boy's chart, and the software takes a couple of seconds to build up a preview of the chart. And then like that, similarly, we will choose the girl's chart, and then we can see both charts have been prepared by the software, and then the run compatibility analysis button is enabled. So the next step that we need to do is run compatibility analysis. This is all. Now you can see on the main screen, the entire screen is occupied by a number of divisional charts. So this is the main marriage compatibility analysis screen. So if you go on the top here, you see The first selected item is chart compare mode. What is this chart compare mode? On the top, you have the boys' charts, and on the bottom, you have the girls' charts. So you can compare the Bhavaspashta or the Kaspal chart, you can compare the Rashi or D1 charts, or you can compare Navamsha and D9 charts visually. And you can also see here, right? Each Kundali is basically named boys Bhavaspashta. It's very clearly given, girls Bhavaspashta. So on the top, the three belong to the boy, the three charts, and on the bottom, the three charts belong to the girl. Now, this is about Rashi and Navamsha. And of course, you can change the style. So, and the style will not only affect one, it will affect all of the uh, divisional charts in this particular screen. So, you can choose East Indian, you can choose North style, or you can choose the South style. Now, other than if you see this, there is Rashi and Navamsha. You can also view the birth chart info next to each other. You see, this is the boys' birth chart info. This is the girls' birth chart info. You'll be able to see them side by side. In this, you will have personal details, astronomical details like Julian day number, Ainamsha, CD real time, and the actual Ainamsha value. So, which Ainamsha you're using. And then the Panchang details for the birth date and time are given. Similarly, on the girls' side, you have personal details and astronomical details and Panchang details. A lot of astrologers will basically look at this Panchang details and then compare it with each other. And that's typically the starting point or the first step in marriage compatibility analysis. Then we have also provided planet cusps and significators. So if you look at it here, on the top, it is boys charts planets and boys charts cusps. Similarly, if you come down, it is girls chart planets and it is girls chart cusps. So for each of these tables, for the planets and for the cusps, we have the nakshatra, the sign lord, star lord, sub lord, and sub sub lord. Now you can also see that there is a small icon with a crown, and this reads boys RPs. So this is basically the ruling planets of the boys chart for the birth time. And similarly, you have below here the ruling planets for the girls chart for the time and date of birth, date and time of birth. Now, if I click this, I will be able to see in the drop down window the ruling planets which are ruling this particular date and time when the boy was born. Similarly, if I just click, I get a drop down to see the ruling planets for the date and time that the girl was born. So this is another screen. So you can compare, both of them can be compared. And then finally, the Vimshottari Dasha and aspects. So here we give the boys Vimshottari Dashas. And then if you see, the Dashas marked in blue are the current running Dashas. That's extremely important. So the software is already, not only is it preparing the Dasha table, it is also telling you the boy is currently running Jupiter, Rahu, and Mercury. Similarly, the girl is running Mercury Mahadasha, Moon Antaradasha, Moon Pratyantra, and then Ketu Sukshmadasha. So you'll be able to compare. So on the left side, top, you have the boys' Vimshottari Dashas. Left side, bottom of the screen, you have the girls' Vimshottari Dashas. Here again, we have provided the boys' chart time ruling planets, chart time ruling planets, so that it's easy for you to access. If you really want to correlate it, the ruling planets with the dasha bhukti lords, then it is easy to see this information, and that's the reason we have provided ruling planets also. And on the right side, we provide for the Vedic aspect. So you can see this boys chart Vedic aspects, girls chart Vedic aspects. And these aspects are extremely important because a lot of astrologers ascribe a lot of value to the aspects. And so you can basically, one below the other, you can compare what are the aspects for the boys chart, what are the aspects for the girls chart. So these are the four important groups of information, that is Rashi Navamsha, birth chart info, planet cusp significators, and Vimshottari Dasha and aspects. You can actually do a compare mode. So this particular feature was not available in the earlier version of the software. This has been completely newly written and newly produced. Now, this is the chart compare mode. Then on the top, you see there is this Vedic Dwadashakuta matching report. So, with just a single click of the button, the software is already processing the two charts, and then based on the Vedic Dwadashakuta or the 36 gunas matching protocol, it gives you an entire report. So not only it tells you about the boys chart and the girls chart, so it will tell you what is the Varna Kuta or the Varna Purutam. Similarly, Vashya, Dina, Yoni, Grahamaitri, Ganakuta, Rashikuta, Nadikuta, Rajju, Stri Dirgha, Mahendra Kuta or Mahendra Parutam, and Veda. So it gives you all of this, and then it even tells you the total allocated points are 36, the total scored is 22, and therefore the total score percentage for the matching or the compatibility analysis is 61.11%. So like this, it gives you an entire text of all of the different Dwadashakuta matching algorithms that are built into the software. Similarly, right next to that, you have the KP Dashavida Purutam. This is nothing new. This was there in the earlier version also, but it was basically in a different place. But now it is brought in as a comprehensive way. So you can not only rely on Vedic Dwadashakuta matching, you can also rely on KP Dashavida Purutam. And here again, there is each and every rule is given. An explanation for the rule is also given, and the marks allocated and the marks scored. So for each and every Dashavidha Purutam, Dasha Purutams, we have provided these details. So if you, just as an example, I'll just take one thing. According to Sri Kuppu Ganapati ji, the first rule is regarding the characteristics and compatibility. What the rule says is Lagna sublords in the charts of the boy and girl should be natural friends or natural neutrals. They should not be natural enemies. And here the marks allocated is 10. The marks scored is also 10, which means the Lagna sublords, they are natural friends or they are natural neutrals. They are not natural enemies. Similarly, the rule 2 is about harmony in married life. The statement of the rule is the sublords of the Lagna and 7th cusp in the respective charts of the boy and girl should be natural friends or natural neutrals. Here, again, they should not be natural enemies. So like this, all the 10 rules are given. Not only the rule is stated, but the marks allocated and the marks scored in terms of percentage is also provided. So here again, at the end of the report, you can see the total allocated points is 100, scored is only 41.5, and the total score percentage is 41.5%. So you got a score of approximately 60% match, and here you are getting a score of 40% match. Now, the thing is, as a software, I have provided the tools for you to develop your astrology practice. Now, what you choose, whether should you choose Vedic Dwadashakuta only, Dashavida, that completely depends on you. It absolutely depends on the astrologer. The way the astrologer is trained, the way the astrologer is experienced, that is what will determine. So, as a software developer, I cannot tell you use this method or use the other method. No. So, we are providing you, this is a tool, the software is only a tool. We are providing you the all possible pieces of information, but choosing what information you want to take and base your predictions on is left to you as a professional astrologer. And the last part here is the Kuja dosha or the Manglik analysis. Here again, this was existing in the previous version, but the thing was the report was only provided in a brief manner. However, in this, you can see on the right side, there are certain conditions which are mentioned in the various classical texts. If these conditions are satisfied, there is mitigation of Kuja dosha. Now, many astrologers may not agree with this. Many say Once a dosha has happened, it has happened in the chart. There can be no mitigation, but there is a lot of literature traditionally which basically tells you that if certain other combinations are available, then the effect of kuja dosha for the married couple will be nullified. So we have given almost about 12 rules, and these rules, I don't want to go into the details, you can easily understand. So wherever possible, I've given a transliteration of the Sanskrit shlokas from where they have been taken, and the meaning of that. So, just as an example, the first one says, if Kuja occupies either Mesha or Vrishchika Rashis, which is the own house, sign of exaltation, which is Makara, or its sign of debilitation, Kataka, and if such a sign happens to be either the fourth or the seventh, counted from the Lagna, Moon, or Venus, then the evil results of Kuja dosha will be mitigated. So, as a software, we are providing you the information that is available in the ancient texts. Now, to take a call whether you will base your observations and predictions based on these or not, that is a call that I cannot make as a software developer. That is a call that you will have to take as a professional astrologer. So these are the most important aspects in marriage matching. You can see that this entire feature is now expanded a lot to cover the entire aspect of marriage compatibility analysis in a very comprehensive way. Now, coming to the last part, there is a button called the report button. All you need to do to provide a marriage compatibility analysis report, you just click the report button. It will ask you where you want to save the chart. For now, the report. And for now, I'll just save it into the chart analysis folder. And I'll say marriage compatibility analysis report. I'll just say something for the file name, select save, and then here you go. So here you get a beautifully formatted report, which is marriage compatibility report. This runs into 14 pages, right? The earlier version had a very brief report, but this runs into 14 pages. You have the boys chart on the left, girls chart on the right. Similarly, the Panchang details and the Vedic timelines, that is sunrise, sunset, Rahu Kalam, Gulika Kalam, Yamaganda Kalam. And then you have the boys Rashi chart, girls Rashi chart, one below the other for comparison. You have the girls Navamsha chart and the boys Navamsha chart, one below the other for comparison. And then you have the planets, the details for both boy and girl. Then you have cusp details. You have the cusps, the details for both the boy and girl. And finally, Vedic 36 gunas matching analysis report, followed by KPDP report. This is KPDP. And finally, the Kuja dosha analysis report. Right? This is the Kuja dosha analysis report. So you will be able to print out this beautiful 14-page report and provide it to your client. Of course, that is, I'll leave it to you the way to use it. So this is very simple to use. All that you need to do is create two charts, select them, click on analyze, and then you get all of this information at the touch of a button. And then you create the report and you can hand it over to the client or use it for your own purposes. So I think this is a comprehensive discussion on this feature. I hope that you will like this feature. Kindly, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, because I'm putting in a lot of effort to produce instructional videos for Jyotish Deepika Pro software. Thank you.